Side quests can be dull. Fetch 10 wolf pelts. Escort a princess. It feels like a filler episode. And that's not fun for anyone. But game night is precious, and the last thing you want to do is waste your, or your players', valuable hobby time. Now, side quests do have a lot of power. After all, it's not the size of the quest that matters, it's how you use it. But if your PCs are treating your side quests like TaskRabbits, here are 3 secret tips to fix them, and they'll totally transform your opinion and approach to side quests. Like all the best tools, side quests should be deployed strategically. Now, I love a roll table as much as the next GM.
I absolutely love.
But throwing random side quests at your players is the wrong way. At least if you want them to feel like they actually matter. So what do I mean by a strategic side quest? Well, first, a side quest can be a welcome break from the main plot. Maybe your campaign is kinda heavy or intense. Maybe it's long, or maybe your players just feel like they need a change. A side quest can inject lighter moments, or just bring a different flavor for freshness. A strategic side quest can also reinforce your campaign's themes, mood, and tone. If your aim is cinematic wanderlust, you can send them on a journey to an epic landmark. If it's intrigue, throw a murder mystery at them. Plus, side quests are super useful for foreshadowing stuff, like information or magic items the party will need later. They deliver your world-building exposition in motion. By the way, for more advice on handling exposition without lore dumps, I've got a video on that. Check it below. You can also use side quests to literally move things along, sending players to the next big plot location or making travel more exciting. Escort quests are great for this. And you can use side quests as a pacing tool and for character management. A personal side quest is a great way to spotlight a character if they've been feeling a little left out. And they're a solid pacing tool for speeding things up if you want to throw in some action or slowing things down. Because sometimes you need a little bit of time to plot the next phase of the story, or your players need to level up before facing the next BBEG. When you start thinking like this, side quests become strategic storytelling powerhouses, and you're one step closer to unlocking their full potential. Okay, so now you know why you're using a side quest, but how do you put one together? Well, you can steal from short story structure for this one. Here's a simple, flexible template that gives your side quest emotional heft and weight. The hook or setup, the rising action or exploration, the twist or complication, and the choice or resolution. Okay, that sounds good, but what does it look like? Well, let's start with the hook or the setup. Usually that's some form of quest giver, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe you can set up a question your players just can't help but be intrigued by. For example, the local tavern keeper has a dramatic scar and keeps muttering about the incident. So imagine your player's surprise when tough guy Festus is found weeping into his apron. Your players are hooked. Great job. How will they learn more? This next section is usually an investigation or exploration, where the players try to puzzle out what's going on. It helps to write down, for yourself, a list of information the party needs to uncover in order to put the pieces together. And how they do that? Well, that depends on what your party likes to do. If roleplay is their preference, reveal more information through social encounters or interrogation. Or they can make a series of skill checks as they investigate why their favourite NPC is having a nervous breakdown. And for a combat-loving party, include combat encounters as they gather information. After all, when you go looking for trouble, you usually find it. The point of this isn't just to capture their attention and kill time. It's to motivate them, to explore, to engage with the setting, to act like protagonists and satisfy their curiosity or help their friends and be heroes. It's the opposite of fantasy DoorDash drivers looking to fill a quest quota. So let's say, after all that investigation, the players find out that Festus has a shady past working for a crime lord. Like John Wick, he got out, but now they're trying to pull him back in. So the crime lord is threatening his innocent estranged daughter, Lyra. A crime lord, a daughter in peril, what are the odds your players will ignore that? So now you have them all riled up, and they think they know what's going on. So it's time to throw in a curveball. This is the twist or complication. Challenge the expectations you set up in the investigation because things are not quite as simple as they appear. A good twist shouldn't overturn everything the PCs have learned, or it feels like a time waster. But this new information should shed a different light on the facts. And usually the twist is something they couldn't have discovered before. In our example, maybe Lyra was working with a crime boss, or she's replaced him. Maybe she wants her father to join her in a life of murder and mayhem. Or maybe Lyra wants revenge for leaving her to fend for herself when she was young. This whole setup is just a trap. So what will your players do with that knowledge? Who will they side with? Well, they need to make a choice. A side quest with only one outcome, well, it's more of a railroad than a story. The best side quests give players real choices, a sense of agency over the outcome. Will they side with Festus? Sympathise with Lyra? Maybe they'll take the bribe from the crime boss, or convince Lyra to forgive her father. And knowing players, they may come up with an option you hadn't even thought of. If it makes sense, let them have it. RPGs are a group storytelling game after all. The choice is important because it gives your players options, agency in how it resolves. It makes them feel important. And it can help them make powerful friends, and very powerful enemies. This 4-point side quest template is really quick to put together. In 15 minutes, you've got a side quest with emotional stakes, player choice, and memorable moments. And once you've gotten the hang of the template, here's a simple trick to level it up. Because the best side quests feel like bonus content unlocked by players who are curious and smart and ask questions. And if you know me, you probably won't be surprised to learn that the secret trick involves world building. Tying side quests to your world building is what separates the good ones from the great ones. Why? Because it makes the story feel real, and it gives the outcome real meaning in the world. That's something that a random table or a generic plug-and-play mission can't achieve. The crime lord? He runs a faction with power and goals. The estranged daughter Lyra? She has her own connections and history. And your party's choice creates long-lasting ripples because it's connected to the setting. If you skip this step, the most dramatic stakes will feel inconsequential. And if a side quest feels like a side quest, well, does it even matter to your players? World building solves this meta-play issue by bringing PCs face-to-face with in-world issues. It also, by the way, lets you foreshadow major conflicts, factions, and elements in your setting, and, C.1, sets up personal relationships with them too. Suddenly, a side quest is part of the great epic of your PC's lives, with repeatable characters and high stakes. As it should be. But this connectivity is where most DMs hit a wall. Keeping track of these connections in scattered notes and Google Docs makes it impossible to put everything together. That's why I needed World Anvil, and it's why me and my husband made it. So now, when I create an NPC like Festus, I'm not just writing a text document, I'm tracking his relationship with the crime lord, the war he fought in, and his tavern's neighbourhood. And when my players get curious, I can explore those connections and instantly see side quests and stories emerge. This transforms prep from what random thing can I rustle up to emergent storytelling, using story seeds I've already planted that are waiting to be discovered. And that is how your side quests stop feeling like detours and start feeling like development. So make strategic choices. Use the 4-step template, and for the love of your pantheon, use elements of your world building to anchor your side quests in reality. At least, your reality. It'll reduce your prep, because you've already done most of it, up the stakes, and most importantly, engage your players' curiosity. No more TaskRabbits. And speaking of keeping your campaign running smoothly, if you've ever scrambled when players can't make it to a session, you need to check out our video on how to avoid cancelling when your party's short a player. It'll transform your approach to that empty seat, which might even be an opportunity in disguise. Click the link to go there next. Now, go turn your players' curiosity into unforgettable side quest adventures. Grab that hammer and go world build.